Around 5 p.m., here comes a man holding his girl, and she was about 3 years old, in his hands. And this is a very typical image. When you see a patient walking and coming with his child in his hands like this, it's never a good sign. So we saw him running to us. I told my nurse, I told the people there, the team, I said, we need to try everything we can to save her. I mean, I could tell by a physical examination that she was really anemic, but I didn't know how bad it was. I could kind of figure out a little bit because she was already started going into a coma. I called the lab, I said, I need blood, not now, I need blood yesterday, because this girl needs an emergency blood transfusion. If not, we are going to lose her. He was able to get the blood and he came, but as soon as he walked in the hospital, the girl passed away. I remember the dad screaming of despair and crying. I remember going and sitting down with him, taking my scrub and sitting there with him and crying with him. I remember going home, driving, and telling the Lord, Lord, this needs to change. We need to do something for things like that not to happen. And this is where clearly the Lord showed me the vision to start a hospital. And I called it Hope Christian Health Center. And since then, I have dedicated my life, everything, every single moment, every single step, every single work that I've done in my life was toward building that hospital. We call it Hope because what is missing in my country, what is missing in the villages, in the communities, is that people have lost over the years through traumatic experiences of losing a child, a mother, a father. People have lost hope. And we want to be instrument in the hands of the Lord to help them and tell them there is still hope in Jesus Christ.
It was my second trip to the Ivory Coast, and I went along with a group that we were doing medical clinics. And so this mother was bringing a little girl, and she was about 4 years old, and we weighed and measured her and found that she was malnourished, that she was starting to have a considerable amount of malnutrition. And so I sat with this mother, and I talked to her about how to feed her child, what kinds of food were nutritious. And I noticed that the more I talked to her, the more hopeless she became. And so I finally stopped, and through the translator I said, what's wrong? Why is this making you sad? And she told me that her husband had recently died, and he was the sole breadwinner. And so because he was no longer providing food, she didn't have enough money to feed her daughter. That was a turning point for me to realize that just coming for 4 days into the country was not enough. There were so many needs and so much need for hope that we needed a permanent structure.
What I hope to see and what I think inspires me personally every day, to begin with, talking about care in an area where there is very little access to care. There's hundreds of individuals in that community who have undiagnosed issues. If we can get them before their issues become a stroke, before they become a heart attack, we're going to be able to impact the health of individuals for generations to come by teaching them about new health habits, new ways of eating, new ways of exercising.
Patients will be coming from all over the place and to receive medical attention, but also to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. And for me, I think being part of a project like this, it's much bigger than us.
It's offering a permanent presence that meets the medical needs, but also moves into the communities through community health. And while we're doing that, we want to share the gospel. And we want to see churches explode all over the coast of West Africa.
Giving to this project is being part of a larger vision. I don't think we can put a monetary value to hope.
If the Lord lays it on your heart that you can give, whether that's a small gift or a big gift, then give. Join with us, partner with us as we bring the gospel to West Africa and we bring hope and healing to people who need it very desperately.
When this building is open and we look back 5 years, 10 years, we will have demonstrated to a people we didn't know that we knew about their need and we came. We came because we loved them even though we didn't know them. To make a difference in their lives now and for eternity.